Hey, and welcome to the second day of the KLAENG Festival. I'm sitting with the great Norma Winstone, and we're super happy to have her here. I have a few questions. You've been releasing albums constantly since the mid-'80s, and everybody knows about your collaborations with the great Kenny Wheeler, with John Taylor. Can you tell us a little bit about your work with Marilyn?
Yeah, well, we haven't worked very much together, but she did ask me to join her for something, and it seemed to really worked. You know, I enjoyed it very much, and yeah, I mean, she's written pieces, and I've actually written words to one of the pieces we do tonight, which I did just there. You know, when I got to the first concert we did, and she brought this piece, and I could imagine words, so I wrote some, and there'll probably be more. And of course, she has worked with John Taylor, and so she's been bringing one or two of his pieces, which I hadn't done since the Azimuth days. I think we do one tonight, but there's about three that we do from that repertoire, and it's very nice because I don't very often work with percussion. Well, I did on the last ECM album. We had Helga Norbacken on percussion, but I mean, Marilyn is completely different. There's so much variety of sound. Yeah. It's very enjoyable.
You just mentioned that John Taylor worked with Marilyn as well. The last time I saw Marilyn's band, that was 7 years ago, and she played with John. And is it like kind of coincidence that John and you were very close and that you work with her? Or when does it go? How long does it go back? So how long did you know Marilyn?
Well, I've known of her, of course, for years, but we have seen each other occasionally. In fact, we've been playing on the same festival, and she's always said, "Oh, we're going to do something together," But I think it's just that she loved the Azimuth things, and of course she loved playing with John, and she just also thought it would be really nice to work with me, and I've really enjoyed it. Hope it continues.
You just mentioned that you instantly wrote lyrics to one of her songs. Is it, I mean, I know you for a very long time and a lot of record that you did the same. Is it something that comes easy to you if you see some music and then it jumps on you to really, okay, I really write something? Or is it like actually things that take a little time to get into?
Well, I didn't have time in this case, because it was like get there 2 days maybe before and rehearse, and sometimes if a piece speaks to me, I get a feeling about it that there are some words in there, if I can find them, that I really believe that the words are in there, and I have to find them. So if a piece has an atmosphere that it really gets to me, then I can sometimes find words.
There are some songs I know that you wrote the lyrics of, but there are some songs I'm not really sure about. Do you know? Did you write the lyrics for Jan, for Kenny Wheeler, or did he write himself the lyrics?
Now, I wrote the words for Jan, who was his daughter-in-law at the time, and so I wrote those. But I didn't write the words to everybody's song but my own, when everybody thinks I did. That's probably was the next question, was it? Yeah. Somebody else asked me that just today and wrote and said, "Did you write? I heard someone singing everybody's song but my own. Did you write the words? I think you must have done." But I didn't. But a lady called Jane White wrote those. But I don't know where she is. She's in England somewhere. And I think Kenny forgot. He used to tell people that I wrote them. Yeah. And I'd say, no, I didn't write them. Oh, okay. And then suddenly I'd find that he'd written down that I'd written them, so I don't know. And I always have to have the music first. The music is the thing that inspires me to find the words that I feel are somehow in that piece of music. But I do read poetry, and I will sometimes just refer to a book of poetry, maybe an anthology, a collection of poems by different people, and I sometimes just open the page, and suddenly a sentence might come to me using that word, not like it's used, but on that page. But it's I am influenced really by poetry, and of course, I mean, I love the words of people like Joni Mitchell, and and Randy Newman. If you can hear them, these words are absolutely great. But I can't seem to write words like that. I'd love to, but
How much of you is in your songs, or do you write about other people? Oh, you about anything, or
I tend really not to write stories. You know, of course, some of the things that I've written are influenced by, you know, my emotions, and often when I've written something, I then understand that it does actually mean something to do with my life. I don't intend it to be referring to me, but I'll realize that it does. But normally I like words which, in a way, like music, create a color, an atmosphere, and that sometimes could mean more than one thing. Yeah, well, I guess I'm not concerned whether everyone can relate to it. I just have to write it. One or two have been autobiographical, and strangely, you know, a song like A Timeless Place or The Peacocks that Jimmy Rolls wrote, and I wrote words to it. The words to that came because I thought, oh, it had this title, The Peacocks, and I thought, well, I don't know what, where would you get peacocks? And then I thought, well, in England, they're often in what we call stately homes, like National Trust places, and I'd done a concert in one such place once. They let us wander around the house, and it was open to the public, you know. It was, but normally there are cordons, you know, to stop you going here or going there, and there was a room where Prince Charles had stayed when he did his pilot training and things. Anyway, and it just had this atmosphere, and I don't know, I suddenly imagined that this could be a place. They didn't have peacocks, but they could have done. And so I had this setting in my mind. It came from that, just this remembering the feeling of being in this house and imagining a love affair between somebody who belongs there and someone who doesn't belong there. And she can never really get to know him. He's like a peacock, this guy that lives in such a place, you know.
Thank you so much for your insights. It's been very interesting. Thank you.